Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video, we will see how to enable AKS monitoring. This is step 8. And let me just quickly log on to the portal and take it from there. So, well, you have seen that we have applied different components in the applications and the performance. We have to check the ongoing performance of the ratings website. So the performance is dependent on the cluster performance and relies on the fact that we can monitor the different components in the application. We can view logs, get alerts whenever the application goes down or some parts of it fail. So we can use a combination of available tools to set up alerting capabilities for the application. So in this video, we will create a log analytics workspace. We will enable the AKS monitoring. We'll inspect the AKS event logs and monitor cluster health. We will configure Kubernetes RBAC, and we'll also view the live container logs and AKS events. So I'm launching up the Cloud Shell. I scroll it up, and then first of all, we'll create an Azure Log Analytics workspace. So Azure Monitors for Container is a comprehensive monitoring solution for AKS. This solution gives us the insight into the performance of the cluster by collecting memory and processor metrics from controllers, nodes, and containers. We use log analytics in Azure Monitor to store monitoring data, events, and metrics from the AKS cluster and the application. So first, we'll pre-create the log analytics workspace in the assigned environment resource group. So I'm going to need a unique name for the workspace. So I'm going to run one command to generate that. You can create a workspace using the GUI as well. This one, okay. Now I will run the AZ resource create command to create the workspace in the same resource group. And the region, let me get the list of the resource group. So this is my resource group in the East US is the location. So I'm going to add the command. Okay, I'm going to do this. It will create a log analytics workspace. Scroll it a little bit. Okay, and after this, I will enable the AKS monitoring add-on. So once the workspace is ready, we can integrate the Azure Monitor add-on and enable container monitoring on the AKS cluster. We need to provide the resource ID of the workspace to enable the add-on. So I'm going to run another command to retrieve and store the workspace ID in a bash variable. Okay, let me copy it and paste it on my notes. So I've stored that information in this variable. Now I'm going to enable the add-on. I'm going to run AKS enable add-ons on the AKS cluster. Add-on name is monitoring and my workspace ID is the one that I generated in the last command. It's going to enable the monitoring add-on. It's doing it. Let me wait, it is running. So it might take some time to establish monitoring data flow for newly created clusters. So we have to allow at least 5 to 10 minutes for data to appear for the cluster. So if you want to inspect the AKS event logs and monitor cluster health, so we view utilization reports and charts for the cluster in the Azure portal using Azure Monitor. Azure Monitor will give us a global perspective of all containers deployed across subscriptions and resource groups. From here, we can track containers that are monitored and those containers that are not monitored. We can also inspect each container's statistics individually. Let's look at the steps we need to take to get a detailed view. So if you are on Azure, let's say I am on home on the portal, and if I go on Azure Monitor, Here I am. So if you go under the insights, you click on containers. After you click on containers, it will show you the list of clusters that you have. So if you click on monitor clusters, it is the cluster that is under monitoring because I enabled the monitoring add-on here. So it has one unknown. So if you would select the cluster tab here, right? And you click on unmonitor cluster. I do not have one. You click on here, you go on here. Right, so if you click on cluster here, so it will give you the CPU utilization, node memory utilization, and as I told you, it will take some time. And now if you would click on the health tab, click on nodes here, click on controllers here, and if you would click on resource health here, and if you would check for the event custom node auth failure, uh, customer node auth failure. So these are the events that you can get. Like I got an health event also on the 23rd of September, right? And next, if you want to configure the Kubernetes RBAC to enable live log data. So in addition to the high level overview of the cluster's health, we can also view the live log data of the specific containers. To enable and set permissions for the agent to collect the data, we have to first create a role that has access to pod logs and events. Then we'll assign permissions to user by using role binding. So what exactly is a Kubernetes role? The RBAC role and cluster role objects will allow you to set up rules that represent a set of permissions. The main difference between a role and a cluster role is that a role is used with resources in a specific namespace, and cluster role is used with non-namespace resources in a cluster. So what is a Kubernetes role binding? We use a role binding to grant the permissions defined in a role to a user or set of users. A role binding contains the list of users, groups, or service accounts to whom the role is being granted. Like the role and cluster role, a role binding grants permission within a specific namespace, and the cluster role binding grant access to the cluster. So role binding will grant permission within a specific namespace, and the cluster role binding will grant permission to the cluster. We'll use a cluster role binding bind. We'll use a cluster role binding bind to bind the cluster role to all the namespaces in the cluster role. So in this part, we'll set up cluster roles and cluster role bindings that are not limited to a specific namespace. We configure cluster roles to define permission on namespace resources given within individual namespace or across all namespaces. Cluster roles are used to describe permissions on cluster scoped resources, and we then use the cluster role binding to grant permissions across a whole cluster. So in a nutshell, remember that the role binding will grant permission within a specific namespace, and a cluster role binding would give you the permission on the whole cluster. So let me create a file called logreader-rbackyaml by using the integrated script editor. So if I go to my Cloud Shell again here, and if I do code YAML, and let me add the code, and if you look at the file, it is a cluster role binding. The name of this is cluster health this API group. It will add the metric extensions app, and the resource for it will pick up the logs would be nodes, pod deployments, get log, and list the log. and it is a cluster role binding, so it will give me access to the all the cluster, full cluster. It would have the container health, kind of a cluster role. It's giving access to the cluster. And I'm going to save it. Save, close. And I'm going to apply kubectl, apply kubectl, apply. It is done. And now if I go to the AKS cluster and I click on Insights under Monitoring. Now if you will select the Controllers tab and choose the container to view its live logs or event logs. So let me choose rating-API. So these are all containers. If I choose this, and if you will view live data, click on it. Same way I have two nodes on which I'm running these containers. And if you will click on here, you can see the live data here, right? The one that you see. I hope this was informative for all of you guys. If you have any queries, please mention them in the comment section and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.